What's up, Rockstar Agents? We are on week 2 of the book club. We're going to go over chapter 2 today. It's the 7 mindsets of fanatical prospecting in the Fanatical Prospecting book. I'm going to start off with the definition of mindset. A mental attitude or inclination. It can also be defined as a mood, disposition, inclination, or intention. Sounds like mindset's pretty important when you go into something that can be so defeating. That's the attitude we get so quickly. I'm defeated by this potential of making money. It's kind of crazy when you think about it, but it's that rejection piece that we're so afraid of. So here are the 7 mindsets. You've got optimism and enthusiasm. Number 2, you've got are you being competitive with yourself? 3, are you confident? 4, are you relentless? 5, are you thirsty for knowledge? Are you systematic and efficient? And are you adaptive and flexible? So optimism, obviously, you have to go into it with the right attitude. You know, if you need to do a couple jumping jacks or maybe make your calls standing up, that goes a long way. People can hear it. It sounds more conversational. Whatever it's going to take to get you excited and fired up. Some people, it's looking at their vision board. Some people, it's like, you know, if I make this many appointments this week, I'm going to have a deal and I can do the thing. So whatever it's going to take to motivate you and be optimistic about your calling, do that first. Competitive, if you're not the kind of person that can be competitive with yourself, find an accountability partner. Find somebody you can be competitive with and say, I made this many appointments today because I made this many calls. How many did you make? But if you're great at motivating yourself and being competitive, I'm going to beat yesterday's results, whatever that competition looks like, whatever's going to motivate you, that's the right way to do it. Confidence. One quick thing about the confidence piece. People hear it in your voice. So to kind of scratch the surface of NLP, which is the neuro-linguistic programming. It's the science behind how we communicate with each other. If there's a question mark at the end of what you're saying, naturally in communication we go up with our voice. But by going down with your voice, instead of sounding, well, I don't know, instead you sound, I'm confident in this conversation and, you know, tell me, I really want to know. As an example, what do you think your time frame is to buy in the next year? Or, what is your time frame to buy in the next year? It feels matter of fact, and you're more likely to get a confident response that's accurate. So, 4, relentless. Do whatever it takes to get the job done. That's what it boils down to. If you don't go into the day with a plan and you are relentless and focused and committed, it's not going to happen. So, thirsty for knowledge. This is one of my favorites, obviously, because I believe the best gift that you can give yourself is the gift of education. But gobble up as much as you can. And a lot of people, what they'll do is they'll, you know, go to realtor.com or they go to NAR, you know, you get local association, and you find something new that's going on, something that's going on in the community. Because if you know, if you're on top of that stuff, it gives you a reason to talk to people. Instead of it just being, hi, I'm checking in. That's like nails on chalkboard for me. I hate that. I'm just checking in. I'm fine, leave me alone. Or, hey, I just read this today. It's very interesting stuff. You know, there's so much going on with fear in the economy, control the narrative, or example, here in Surprise, they're not taking a recycling anymore. That's a great conversation to have with somebody because it's about something that they care about because most people are real upset about it, but you can actually open up and have a conversation. In some cases, that's not directly linked to them purchasing a home. It's a rapport builder, and at the end of the day, you're more likely to get that person in your corner. Systematic and efficient. If you don't have a plan of how you're going to do it, you won't do it. It's just human nature. It's the difference between saying, well, this is my big dream forever, and I'm going to get there someday, and saying, okay, well, this is the end game. I want to do it by this date, and I'm going to hit these benchmarks along the way. Prospecting is no different. If you go into the day and you say, I know I have to make 40 phone calls so I can talk to 10 people and set an appointment. Now you have something systematic. Block that time, protect that time, treat it like it's an appointment because it is. It's an appointment that'll generate future appointments. So, got to have that efficient, systematic time blocking in place. And then lastly, be adaptive and flexible. And what that obviously means is, you know, as things change, you need to be open to change, but be flexible to your prospecting time even if you don't do it. That's where you need to be flexible and adaptive. Because if you know, if I do 1-hour calls, religious calls every single day, then I'm going to be able to set the appointments so that I can meet my goal for the end of the year. Well, if you're out showing homes all day or you're on listing appointments, you have to do CMAs, and those are good things, but they should never replace your prospecting time. So if you don't have appointments tomorrow, instead of 1 hour, do 2 hours. It's all about planning your day. So hopefully you guys found this helpful. I would love to know which of the 7 you think is your best, like you're the best at executing that one of those 7 mindsets, and which one do you think you need a little help on? If we get a dialogue going, we can pick each other's brains, and we can come up with some solutions that everybody can really learn from. So see you next week for chapter 3, which is to cold call or not to cold call. That is the question. Oof, cold calling, scary stuff. So stay tuned.